Hello everyone, welcome back. This is 𝗦𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗔𝗟 from Man United fans' voice, and I will try and analyze today Manchester United's unexpected loss to Aston Villa at Old Trafford yesterday. Many of you ask me why I don't do my match reaction videos straight after the game has finished. The reason for that is that I do not rate emotional analysis. I don't like expressing my main thoughts and opinions on the game straight after a win or a loss. Out of respect for everyone who is spending some of their time to read or listen to what I have to say, I prefer to wait a day and have a clearer, better, less emotional opinion about the game that has finished. That is why. One of the hardest balances to find when you're trying to analyze a football game is how much blame and how much responsibility should be put on coaches and how much on the players for good or bad performances. Against Young Boys, I said that Ole made some head-scratching decisions. Against West Ham for the Carabao Cup, I put most of the blame on the players because, in my opinion, their final decision making and the execution was not good enough. Against Aston Villa yesterday, I saw bad performances from both the manager and the players. Solskjaer has to take blame, the players have to take blame. This was not good enough, and losing 3 out of our last 4 games is far from being acceptable. If you can't get the basics right, you are not going to get very far. We create our own problems, still conceding poor goals. I lost count of the number of sloppy passes. Our midfield offers no protection to the defense nor helps the attack out. Lack of ideas, lack of fluidity, and all of those things are down to the players. But who is responsible to fix them? The manager. A team cannot be title contenders without being ruthless and dominant at home. Unfortunately, Old Trafford is very far from being a fortress this season. Despite having many shots, I wasn't satisfied with the number of great chances created by United yesterday. We simply cannot go on like this or we will fall away. We need better performances, we need comfortable and dominant wins soon. Many bad things to talk about from yesterday's game, but one thing I do not understand is why are people complaining about Paul Pogba playing on the left. From all the years he has been at United, he has played his best and most consistent football since Solskjaer started using him on the left wing. And that is because playing him on the left allows Paul Pogba to get into more dangerous positions. Yesterday was a bad one, but I don't think changing something that has worked 9 out of 10 times is a rational solution as we are at the moment. Now let's try and get into the game from a more tactical point of view. So Aston Villa came into the game with a low block, with 3 defenders, 5 in front of them and 2 forwards. Now, many United fans criticize McTominay and Fred, but I am sorry, they were not our biggest problems yesterday. In my opinion, our 2 main problems were A, that 3 out of our 4 first choice defenders, 𝗟𝗚𝗡𝗞𝗦, Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire, have not started the season well at all, and that continued yesterday. And B, that although our forwards are great, amazing individual players, they have not found any chemistry between them. They look like they are complete strangers. Mason Greenwood had a bad game yesterday, and the most standout thing he did wrong yesterday was that whenever he had the ball around or in the box, he went for the shot. But isn't that what we've all wanted him to do for the last 2 years? Haven't we all expected and wanted him to do that up to now? Yes, it is. And that is probably what his coaches have told him to do since he was 10 years old. To lift his head up and shoot. But now, in that box with Mason Greenwood, we also have Cristiano Ronaldo. So it is now Solskjaer's job to try and make Mason understand when is the right moment to shoot or when is the right moment to pass. Continuing the conversation about McTominay and Fred and how most United fans feel about them starting in most games, yes, I agree, none of them is going to become a great footballer. But in order to understand and explain why they start in most games, I think it is very important to firstly understand what is Solskjaer's tactic. So when we play against a team that defends with a low block, the way we attack is with our 3 forwards, our number 10 and our 2 fullbacks. So like I've said before, we first need to address the fact that A, our 3 forwards do not seem to have perfected playing alongside each other yet, and B, that our 2 fullbacks have not had a good start to the season and they are not helping in the attacking area enough. So yes, of course I agree, Fred and McTominay are not the best players we could have had, but they are not our main problem at the moment. I've mentioned this before, that some people try and use fancy words or sentences in order to mask the fact that they don't really know what they're talking about. We often hear people say things like, oh, Solskjaer doesn't have any patterns of play, or that he doesn't have a style of play. United under Solskjaer do have a pattern of play. The problem is that up to now, it seems as if the players do not really know how to execute the pattern of play at the required level. They seem like a team that is still trying to perfect this style of play. It has been very obvious in these 8 first games that we are not doing the basics as well as we should do. And with the squad that we have this season, that is not good enough. One more significant problem is that our tempo when we are moving the ball is not quick enough. And my worry is that what should be happening is that game by game our performances should be getting better. But that has not happened yet. And in the next 2 months we have many important and more difficult games coming up. But on the other hand, United have played better football when we have faced more difficult opponents, and that could be something we see happen again now. But we haven't seen enough improvements, and that is worrying. I often get asked, what would make me Ōli out? The first part of the answer is that because I am not a child, but I am a 41-year-old man with a brain, I refuse to call myself Ōli in or Ōli out, because in my opinion that is completely ridiculous. Up to now, I have been supportive and satisfied with Solskjaer because of 2 basic, very important things. A, that he has managed to rebuild and restructure a team that was in complete mess, from the first team to youth level, recruitment, scouting, absolutely everything. And B, because up to now, considering the quality of our squad, the results and most times the performances have been more than satisfying. But now the bar has raised because he has managed to build a squad that has the quality and is capable of bigger things. Now the expectations and the demands are much bigger. So if I had to name myself Ōli something, it would be Ōli must do better. Solskjaer deserves criticism, and rightly so. But your criticism has to be rational and based on facts, not terrible agendas. And always remember, opinion does not equal facts. Ōli Gunnar Solskjaer has succeeded in the job he was hired to do. He has rebuilt a decimated team tremendously well. But now he needs to make a step up, and there is absolutely no hiding. This is a big season. The board and most of the fans still trust him because we've been here before and he has come out stronger every single time. But this squad should be playing better, and it is down to Ōli to showcase that very soon. Does yesterday's loss alarm any bells? Not really. But does it show that this team isn't clicking yet? Absolutely. Since Fergie left, we've had 4 different managers. Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho and now Ōli. Never have I asked for the head of a manager even in the darkest of days. The history of the club I support was built on 2 managers that were given time. You can play your manager in and out games. They've all had and will have my support. Of course, the strength of this squad now means that the pressure is on to speed up the process, and rightly so. This is Solskjaer's biggest challenge up to now. I, for one, believe he will succeed, but only time will tell. Until then, I will fully support the players and the manager of Manchester United. If I had to make a prediction, it would be that Solskjaer is not going to get sacked this season. You might not like it, but that is my prediction. He has done an amazing job in rebuilding the team while at the same time constantly exceeding expectations. He deserves a shot at reaping the benefits, but he definitely needs to do better. I do believe that this is the first season when Ōli Gunnar Solskjaer needs to make United major challengers. He has his squad, he has cleared out the toxicity he inherited, he has done a great job. but unless he takes United to the next final level, then criticism and scrutiny will be entirely valid. Before Solskjaer, United had 3 different managers, and despite winning a trophy every now and then, all those 3 managers left United in an absolute mess. In just under 3 years, Solskjaer has managed to completely rebuild and restructure this club inside out, while at the same time the results on the pitch have been more than good enough with a very limited squad. Do not now expect me to turn my back on him after 3 losses. Should he be doing better? Yes. Am I going to turn my back on him and the players just 8 games into the season? Absolutely not. So, that's all from me for tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please remember to press the like button, subscribe and press the little bell that turns the notifications on. I know I'm very stubborn, but my love for this club is very, very deep. Glory, glory, Man United. Good night.